um, before diving into the world of Dungeons and Dragons. Have you ever wondered what it would be like to explore a realm where magic and monsters reign supreme? Um, if so, you're in luck, as we're about to uh, embark on a journey through the realm of Faerûn, as depicted in the game Baldur's Gate 3. If you're new here, consider subscribing to our channel and hitting the like button for more content like this. Baldur's Gate 3 has certainly not disappointed fans of the Dungeons and Dragons series with its engaging storyline and captivating gameplay. The games focus on the Githyanki and their struggle against the Mind Flayers as a highlight of the game. Uh, um, in the realm of Faerûn, there's an abundance of content inspired by the original tabletop Dungeons and Dragons game. The game serves as an introduction to the D&D world and mechanics for many players, but in a digital format. One of the playable character races in Baldur's Gate 3 is the Githyanki, a choice less frequently seen in other D&D based media. Despite their ties to mind flayers and alliances with red dragons, they often take a backseat. The Githyanki have finally had their moment to shine with the release of Baldur's Gate 3. The game's narrative revolves around the player trying to free themselves from an illithid parasite, making it logical to incorporate a playable race with ties to these mind-dwelling creatures. Many casual Dungeons and Dragons players didn't know much about the Gith before Baldur's Gate 3. The game has bolstered the Githyanki into public view by exposing players to lore they may not have known otherwise. The Githyanki are a rare race in Dungeons and Dragons parties, being extraplanar and not included in the old or current player's handbook. They have been around for quite a long time, with their first official appearance being in 1981. And in Baldur's Gate 3, picking the Githyanki race offers numerous advantages to the player. This race stands out particularly in Act 1, boasting some of the most distinctive conversation options. The game's story puts the Githyanki at the center, and it wouldn't be complete without them. Players cannot avoid involving the Githyanki in their storyline while playing Baldur's Gate 3. Despite its focus on Githyanki, Baldur's Gate 3 is missing the other half of Gith society. The Githzerai, the game's spotlight on Githyanki overshadows a huge part of Gith lore. In actuality, Gith encompasses two distinct groups. Within this species, the Githyanki and the Githzerai, the former is the one featured in the game, while the latter does not appear. The Githzerai aim to leave their history behind and focus on cultivating their unique culture. The deep they are infamous for their harsh temperaments, surpassing even the drow in this regard. The Githzerai are far from passive creatures. Many of them practice monkhood. And although they no longer actively wage war against mind flayers, they still harbor a deep-seated animosity towards them, following a division into two factions. The Githyanki and Githzerai developed deep-rooted enmity towards each other. Given this history, it seems that introducing the Gith feud into the narrative of Baldur's Gate 3 could add an additional layer of complexity to an already intricate plot. because the Githyanki are more actively critical of illithids, um, it makes sense why they were preferred over the Githzerai in BG3. Yet imagining a Githzerai character disguised as a Githyanki for gameplay would have been quite intriguing. In Baldur's Gate 3, even though the Githzerai aren't physically present, there are hints of them throughout the game. For instance, in the Mind Flayer colony, during Act 2, you can find and interact with a consciousness of a Githzerai in the necrotic laboratory. The sixth time, on a lighter note, why did the Githyanki go to therapy? Because they were struggling with their inner demons, literally. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time, bye-bye.